Hey guys, how you doing? It's Kevtech here, bringing you another video on information technology. I hope you're having a good day. Happy Saturday. And today I want to do mock interviews. So I have a bunch of people that I talk to on Discord and I talk to on a few other places. And they're going to try to join in here. I'm going to ask technical questions. They're all going to be tech questions today. And then this whole month is all going to be mock interviews, by the way. So if you're interested, let me know. You could just PM me on Discord, and if you want to be part of it, let me know. So no CompTIA training this month of November. Straight up, just interview questions for people that are new to IT and people that are trying to get into IT and stuff like that. So this is for people that are brand new. Obviously, it's not for me. It's for people that are new. I'm trying to help them. So I'm gonna ask them interview questions, and then they answer the questions, and we go back and forth. If that makes sense. So it's about to go down when I am dressed like this and I have my cup of coffee. When I have my cup of coffee and I'm dressed like this, it's about to go down with interview questions. So good morning. I don't know what I don't know who's watching from what state, what country. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever, whoever's watching from wherever. I hope you guys are having a good day. I hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I'm about to share the link with everyone. Just give me a second. So yeah, so let me share my link with the people that wanted to get involved. So just give me a second, okay? This is mock interview question. So obviously, if you don't want to be on camera, if you don't want to be on this, then don't join it, obviously. But obviously, if you do want to be part of the interview questions, then go ahead and join. But this is for people that are trying to practice, their interview skills, if that makes sense. So um, me send it to everyone. Just give me a second. Not feeling well today. I hope you feel better, Tim. Good evening from London. Admit. Okay, see who else is coming in. Just bear with me. Kevin is joining right now. I'm gonna send the interview. I'm gonna send this to just bear with me. This is being recorded, by the way. If anyone is joining from Zoom, Kevin knows that. Kevin already knows that. Just waiting for people to join. Just bear with me. Just sharing my screen. Here we go. Wait for more people to join. Hey Shane, how you doing, Shane? Good evening from London. Yeah, man, I was in London. I was in London and Ireland Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. It was last year in February. Hey, Frederick, how you doing? Kevin, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right,
Just getting set up.
wait for more people to join. Just bear with me.
Let's see how I want to do this audio.
Yeah, just wait for more people to join. Obviously, this is recorded, so obviously it's just practice only. I'm not gonna scream and yell at you if if you give me the wrong answer. We don't yell at people. We don't scream at people. We try to make them better. That's the point of these interviews. I don't do screaming and yelling. I don't work well like that either under that pressure. If I were to scream at someone, I would actually feel bad for that person. I don't do that to anyone. So I try to make you better with your interview questions. So like if you struggle with something, we try to fix it and resolve it. I want you to be better in your actual job interview. That's the point of this. So like, it's practice. So obviously there's no such thing as a wrong answer and a right answer. There is such thing as the right answer, but I want you to practice, and then you gotta be more fluid with the answers, when you go to the actual job interview, you know what to say, you're not stressed out, you feel more comfortable, you feel like you could actually answer the question as opposed to saying I don't know. So this definitely does help anyone that's brand new to IT. So let's just wait for more people to join. So just bear with me. I'll get started as soon as the people that tell me they wanted to participate, then I'll start going with this. But just give it a few more minutes. You know, so like I said, this is mock interviews. I'm doing mock interviews the whole November every Saturday at 2 p.m. EST time. So if you want to be part of it, all you gotta do is just let me know. I'll be more than happy to you know, allow you to join if that makes sense. So obviously, if you don't want to be part of it, then you know, you could just watch on you could just watch on YouTube if that makes sense. So that's the thing for everyone else. If you don't want to be part of it, then don't join. Obviously, so let's people that are brand new. They're trying not. So someone else is joining. I'm just waiting for him to join. Hey Kevin, how's your Saturday?
How's it going?
How's
Pretty good,
Saturday?
pretty good.
Put my volume up.
Actually woke up on time.
Oh, you woke up on time. That's funny.
Yeah. We kept working on the thing for a bit, you know.
Nice. Hey, is it A0? Long time no see. I'm back on my feet. Got a desktop support role. Good job, man. Congratulations. Good job. Nice. Just waiting for more people to join. Just wait for more people to join. So just, I don't want to. Unless we're gonna just interview Frederick. That'll be funny. Frederick's gonna be the only one in this one. Like,
Just ask him all the questions.
Yeah, he's gonna have to answer all our questions. Steven, I sent you the link already. I sent you the link on Discord. So check Discord, Steven. I'm not sharing this one on YouTube because this is a mock interview. I don't want people jumping in here randomly, you know. So if you want the link, you have to be on Discord. Thank you for all your hard work. Your videos helped me land the job. Okay, cool, man. Nice job. So, see. All right, Steven, check your Discord. Looks like it's just gonna be. It's gonna be just. Oh, here we go. Someone else is joining right now. Trying to see if Meg's around because she said she wanted to join. So let's see if she's around. She probably got busy. Prince is here. Okay. Frederick, you ready? Frederick, you ready? You got your cup of coffee? You ready? Coffee or tea? I don't know what you drink.
I have a drink, actually, a soda.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. How you doing?
Okay, I guess it's a beautiful day outside. Anybody get outside and enjoy this day so far?
Yes. I went out today.
Oh yeah.
It's nice. It's very beautiful outside, man. It's like like one of the top 10 days of the year. Wait, it's very nice.
Got YouTube. That's okay. Yeah, I just got back in from doing some biking myself.
Yeah. I was out riding around too a little bit.
Yeah, I went walking. I like to walk back and forth, and then later on I do cardio. Usually I just run. That's like later today. I'm just waiting to see who else is. Prince, are you there? See if Prince is there.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Are you here for the mock interview?
No, I just want to observe.
Okay, so I guess Frederick's the only one. It's gonna be interesting because Meg doesn't now answer me, and a few other people don't answer.
So printer questions? Is that what we're gonna do?
No. It's gonna.
Kevin, man, you got a haircut. Looking good, Kevin. Looking good.
Yeah, I got a haircut.
Yeah, I got sick of the long hair.
You're all clean there.
Which Kevin? Both?
You look like you're 21 years old now, 20 years old. You look like a young guy, right?
Which Kevin, Steven?
Kevin Diaz. He looks a lot better than what you. He looks a lot sharper than what you do right now. Good.
Did you manage to get it, Kev, or no? The haircut.
I did actually. It was a lot longer actually.
Oh,
very long. It was just
What do you got? Like 2 hairs cut?
I got you know, I got like the number 1, number 2, number 3. I got number 2. Cause
I always go for this, 0. Almost a 0.
Yeah, I'm always either 1 or 0.
Is it possible? Nice to see you guys. Is it possible to do 2 jobs side by side? Yeah, I worked 3 jobs in one. And realistically, you can work as many jobs as you want. I mean, I don't tell you to do that, but it's not good for your health. I worked 2 jobs.
The guy that I replaced at my job, he worked 4 jobs.
4 jobs.
Part-time,
Yeah.
but it's still he managed to do it. 1 full-time and then 3 other part-time.
Yeah, so I wouldn't recommend that for your health. I don't want you to, it's not good for your health if you're working so many jobs. You don't have time to sleep. So, just saying,
Well, your other job, Kevin, is a gigolo, right? I think, right?
What?
Is a gigolo, right?
No.
Oh, no?
No.
I thought maybe you're pursuing that career.
No.
Got relaxation going on, yeah. Gotta have some fun.
Someone said I like Steven's haircut.
It's the most economically efficient.
Yeah, it's kind of like the natural cut. It's kind of like, Mother Nature's just robbing me of it every day of my life. So, yeah, it's one of those things. So.
You don't have to spend money every 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'd rather have the hair though, I guess. Some days. When it gets a little chilly outside, my head gets a little cold. I got to wear a hat.
I'm waiting a few more minutes until we get anyone else that wants to join. This is just mock interviews. So Steven, it's all technical questions. So you can ask whatever you like. It has to be technical questions. Kevin, same thing. Technical questions. No soft skill questions. Nothing like that for today.
Do we have a resume for Frederick?
No, we don't have a resume. Unless Frederick wants to send one to us on Discord, and we could, do that. That's entirely up to him. I don't hear you, Frederick.
Oh, I was saying, yeah, I can send it over to you. I sent one a while back, but I think it was to Danish, so I can send over one to you guys.
Yeah, you send it to us on the Discord channel. Don't send it,
Okay.
on you. Yeah, not on YouTube. So you can just send it to me privately, whatever you want to do.
And just so we get an idea of what kind of skills you have, what we should ask about.
I mean, my questions are going to be easy questions. It shouldn't be that hard. If they're hard for you, let me know. But it shouldn't be difficult questions. It should be questions that I think if you know how to fix computers, you might be able to answer it, kind of, so.
I had a pretty interesting little bit of a issue with the computer this week. The one guy was, I was trying to help at home. He was, the Cisco Interconnect client, he was trying to connect up. It would show on the actual system tray, and it would show it was trying to connect, and all of a sudden, boop, it would just pop away. It would like disappear. And I was like, what the heck? And I couldn't get it to connect. I tried to uninstall it and reinstall it, uninstall it, reinstall it, same thing. So I had the guy bring it into the office.
Mm-hmm.
And it did the same thing in the office with, in at the office. I tried to uninstall it like 5 times. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Then I kind of was thinking to myself, well, let's try to unjoin it from the domain and rejoin it back up to the domain. I did that. Boom, it started working. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Did you
I don't
try
know why. I have no idea why,
Mm-hmm.
but it was very strange, but I fixed it though. So if you get something like that, Kev, if it's just popping away, you're like, you tried everything in the world. Oh, there she is. Thing, yeah, you got that right, huh? Yeah. And yeah, it's very, very interesting. So I thought, keep that one in your back pocket there.
I was going to ask you, was it not a certificate error? Did you try that?
No, it was not saying that. It was, it popped away. Then the box popped up, said the connection could not be established, something like that. And I was like, other than that, I wasn't seeing anything in event. I looked in under the event viewer in the event logs and nothing. And I was like, so I'm like, let me try one more thing before you take, because he was like in a rush. He like actually wanted it. So let me try one more thing. And I unjoined it, rejoined it back up, and boom, it worked. I'm like, yes, it worked. And he's like, well, what did you do? I'm like, I don't know. It works. So let's just go with this. And
Let's go with this.
And he said, oh, it's been working. I'm like, something must have gotten a little weird. Maybe with a certificate, maybe that wasn't popping up. Maybe rejoining back up to the main made it all happy again, because it was going, I was doing like a GP force and everything, and it was work. I mean, everything seemed normal except for it would just pop away. It would just disappear. So strange. But then she would come back, and I was like, huh? That was weird. But I fixed it though. So if you see a case like that, try to unjoin it and rejoin it back up and see if it doesn't stabilize it.
I got your resume. I send it over to Steven. I send it over to Danish. I send it over to Haifa. I send it over to Kevin. So everyone should have the resume now.
Whose resume?
Frederick.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's on Discord. I send it to everyone.
How's it going, Haifa?
Not dead yet. How are you?
Good. You feeling any better?
Huh? No, I'm not actually. Today my mouth is like numb. And like, when you burn your tongue?
Yeah.
And like your mouth is like numb, but it like also feels like pins and needles. And I can't taste anything. So
you're okay though, right?
All the good food. I might have COVID, but who knows? Not dead
I hope
yet.
not.
I mean, if the symptoms stay like this, it's fine. I can handle this, but.
Young lady, what the heck's going on?
I was in the office. That's what's going on. Should never be in the office ever again.
Well, are you washing your hands after you touch all like the equipment and everything?
Yeah, I might have accidentally rubbed my eyes a few times.
Just be like this all day. Just
No, but like when you wear glasses and then your eyes itch.
Yeah.
And then you're like touching someone's computer like that just came from their house.
See, that's why I just use like this part of my arm and I just go like this, and it's really annoying. Really annoying.
Yeah, but then you have to move the glasses out of the way. How do you do that? That's not even possible, Kevin.
That's
not
why
everyone is.
That's why I wear sunglasses, so I
In
don't
the
touch my
office?
eye. Yeah, I wear glasses. I put something in my hat in my face, so I don't touch it. I just don't touch it because of that. It's
I'll
something
learn
that
one day.
it's a habit that I created.
Yeah. While I'm at work, it's as if my hands were absolutely covered
exist?
in like garbage. Like I don't want them anywhere near me. Like, I literally just I use them as if they were completely dirty, and well, usually they are actually, but I try to use like the back of my arm or like the back of my shirt, something like that, or this up here. I try not to even touch my hands to like anything on me, except for my phone, which I clean when I get home.
People in the chat say, hey, hi, Haifa, hi, Danish.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Danish, how you doing, man?
Hey,
Can you hear me?
How's it going?
You guys hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
How's everything?
That's my.
Look, you got a
that's-
shape up and the other
that's-
one got a haircut. What is this?
That's my
I'm just missing my hair.
that's my long lost brother right there, Danish.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Frederick, are we ready? Is everyone ready? You guys got the
Yeah.
resume?
Oh, so Frederick is on the seat right now.
Yes.
I am.
nice.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, let's do it.
Hey, that's good. Well, same Frederick, right? Same Frederick from
Yes.
the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's good then because we can then make a decision here. So, well, that's nice.
It's not going to be tough questions, so don't worry. And if you don't know, like we'll go over towards the end what the answer would have been. But just we'll go easy on you. Don't worry, because there's so many people. So I guess I'll start with the question. So the way it's going to work is I ask a question, then you answer my question, and then after that, somebody else here will ask a question, and then somebody else here we'll do like a circle, if that makes sense. So it'll be me, then Kevtech, then Steven, then Danish, then Haifa, she wants to say something. Then it'll go like that, and then we'll do a round two. Maybe just 2 rounds or 3 rounds, depending how long the interview takes, and then we'll stop from there. Not too many questions because there's too many people. So, and I don't want to bore everyone to death, because there's too many people.
Who else is
Wait,
gonna
Kevin, where
be
did you
answering?
send it to me? I don't have it.
I send it to you on Discord. If you didn't pay attention, I said Discord like 3 times, but okay.
No, I'm sorry. I was on a call. That's why.
So
I'll
Kevin,
check now.
Who else is getting interviewed?
I think it's just him. I don't know. I think B Pen, is that right? B Pen,
Bipin, maybe.
I Pen. Prince is just watching. He said Prince is just watching.
Raha is here too.
Okay. I think everyone else is just watching it. So Frederick is on his own today. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll ask the first question then. I ask you. We'll go with something simple first. What is a ticketing system? What is a ticketing system? Tell me how a ticketing system works, and can you give me an example of a ticketing system? Any type of ticketing system that you're familiar with, and how does it work?
Okay, that's first of all, that's the subject I'm on now, like actually getting familiar with different ticketing environments. I saved it for last because it varies more so than computers. I would say a ticketing system would be like Zendesk, right? You got Zendesk. What else? Is it the one you use? I think it was Citrus or something like that.
I mean, you could Zendesk is acceptable answer, but okay. What's it used for? Like what do help people in Helpdesk do, or what they do?
It will be used to manage clients and know who's assigned to different clients, who's assigned to different teams of the company. That will be something that's on there that would tell you. It's used to manage problems, to make sure problems are solved in a timely manner.
Okay, I actually like that answer.
Yeah, I like that.
And you, let's go. Kevin, you go next. You have a question for him? Unless Stephen will go.
Go ahead, Diaz. You go next. I'll go third.
I was gonna ask here. I see that you have experience here with Active Directory user account creation and management. Can you give me an example of why you would use Active Directory in your company, why it exists, you know, what it does?
Well, Active Directory, for one, it helps manage users in a company. And instead of people giving us maybe pages or stacks of pages or a list of users, they have a centralized system where they're able to manage users, they're able to manage devices, they're able to manage computers, printers, and things like that. So it basically gives a company a centralized location where they can manage users and computers in an efficient manner.
Good answer.
Good answer. Stephen?
All right, just looking over your resume here.
Now I do come, just side note, I do come from building computers. I come from that, and over the years I saw a slow decline in hardware technicians. So that's one of the reasons why I am putting more emphasis on software.
Got it.
Okay.
Don't discount those skills, by the way. Those are good.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, those are very good skills. Yes. Mm-hmm. When it comes to working with customers and stuff like that, it says here you have strong communication skills working with customers' concerns. How much experience you have working with like enterprise customers and like people from work or stuff like that? I mean, or is it basically? Have you ever dealt with people from work as far as like real customers with troubleshooting real tickets from a work perspective?
All right, as far as tickets are concerned, I do not have any experience in ticketing as far as ticketing systems. Only personal self-taught training purposes experiences. However, I have a lot of experience in workplace customers. My first job was Schnucks Markets. I'm not sure you guys remember that. It was a small grocery chain here, much like Kroger, but like a really small Kroger. And that was like obviously first hand-on immersive, dealing with customers and dealing with coworkers at the same time. Then once I graduated college 2 years later, once I graduated high school 2 years later, I went to Lincoln, Nebraska, where I was a outbound sales telemarketing agent. So customers are definitely the cornerstone of my career. I can definitely say that.
Okay. With the customer, let's say if I was a customer at a store, I came up to you and I asked you a question, would you like help me with going to find the product inside the store, or would you kind of like move me to somebody else to go and like, would you delegate that to somebody else? Like, how would you take care of that customer if someone came up to you and said, hey, I can't find something, can you help me with this? Or would you say, well, so-and-so can maybe help you with that? Like, how would you approach that?
Depending on the situation and the current environment in a store, if it's like peak hours, and if I'm hopefully at a store that has employees that actually their job is to help customers within the hours, I will direct that customer to one of those employees. But if I see that it's not a real, it's no one's behind her, it's kind of early, yes, I can show you where that is, ma'am or sir.
So then you're pretty good at working as like a team member of a group if you have to. In a team environment,
sir.
you like to do
correct.
that like team environment, or you like to take charge yourself? And
I've been trying to definitely, I won't say improve, I guess, improve at my actual assertiveness and leadership roles at work, but I definitely, teamwork is, that's no problem for me. But I'm definitely trying to take that next step into leadership roles and be able to lead teams.
That's very good, because I mean, to be like a team player in IT is very, very important, because you got to deal with so many other groups. To stand out above one group from another sometimes doesn't resonate very well going down the line there. So okay, good, nice.
Danish?
All right. So, Frederick, what is the difference between a desktop operating system and a server operating system?
I would say the main difference would be the amount of features that would be initiated during the deployment process. Server has features that an average user wouldn't find use to. So if administrator sends her and server manager, a normal user wouldn't find use of that. So in terms, Microsoft made a whole separate operating system just for normal users. So I think that would be the main difference, would be the amount of features that you have available to you initially.
Can you give me one example of a feature that you are used to on the server that you can explain?
Well, for one, on a client system, you would, let me think about this. Well, for one, Active Directory, you wouldn't have that installed on a regular Windows 10 system. That would be a server feature for server program.
Can Active Directory be managed from Windows 10?
Can no, it can only be managed from a server system.
Are you sure?
You sure about that?
Sure.
Active Directory be managed from a Windows 10 system. Possibly, if you install that feature, I guess you would enable that Windows feature on a Windows 10 system.
What feature
manually.
is that? Do you know?
It would be Active Directory domain services, correct?
No, it's a different feature. What feature is it? What's it called?
It's a program. Well, that's fine.
Four-letter word.
Yeah. So maybe that's something you can research.
No. But you gave a good answer for Active Directory.
Yeah, I never tried managing a Active Directory.
So as a technician, this is a very basic thing for people, because people are not going to give you Active Directory's access in the real environment, right? I'm not going to be able to give you a real domain computer access, because that's sysadmins usually control that access. And you as a technician will have a tool, administrative tools, RSAT or something like that.
Yeah, it's called RSAT tools.
Yeah. So when you put that on your machine, you get a certain level of access to the domain controller, Active Directory, and any other feature that I would like to give you. And then you would have that ability from your machine. So you're not directly getting into the servers. So that kind of basically takes care of that, security or the access control that I would like you to just, work with the resetting passwords, adding the users in the Active Directory. You would have all these features available through that. Okay, so make sure you research RSAT.
Okay. Yeah, I remember hearing something about RSAT. I was trying to do something.
Danish has a video on that, and I have a video on that. So basically, you would install. If you're brand new, you're a new help desk person. Usually, what happens is someone that already has experience. They grab the laptop, they image the laptop for the new hire as a help desk person, and they install RSAT tools and all these other company tools that the person might be using if they do IT support for that company. So they go and log into Windows 10, and then RSAT tools is right there. And then you can open up users in computers and a bunch of other things. So you don't need anything else but that. And you can do all your work on that. And you can actually reset passwords from Windows 10, having that tool on that computer if you're help desk. If that makes sense.
Do my research and practice.
You may want to look that up and give it a try. Maybe you have a lab environment in your house. Install RSAT tools on Windows 10, and then log in as help desk, and then play around with that if that makes sense. But is Hayfa around? Afa? Afa, you're around? Otherwise, I'll ask questions.
Number
You're
two.
around?
Are you there? Number
If I
two.
maybe had to get some tea or something, some lemon juice
Number
or
two.
something.
Are you around? Number two.
Doing so well there.
Okay, so I'll get back to her. Let me ask you another question, and then we'll go in a circle again, okay?
All right.
All right. So can you tell me what's the difference between a security group and a distribution group on Active Directory?
All right. See, blow some dust off of that one. All right, distribution security group. All right, so a distribution group would be, I would say, a regular user. I'm trying to specify what a regular user would be in this case. So a regular user and security would have security privileges or certain security privileges over, I guess it would relate to the user account control, depending on how much control a user has over a system. I think that would be a difference in those. I think that would be the main difference. You have certain security privileges within that security group, if you're in a security group.
So can you give me an example of that? Like who would be added on a security group? And why would you add someone to a security group as opposed to a distribution group? Like what are the differences between the two groups? Like what do they do?
Okay, so I would say, I have to study this, of course,
And
but I would say,
obviously, if you don't know the answer, then give me something you would do in order to fix to get the answer, if that makes sense.
well,
What
if
would
I
you
was,
do?
I guess if I'm onboarding a new employee that's not going to be part of the help desk or anything like that, I would put them in a distribution group versus someone that maybe that's going to be a coworker with me on the same security level as me. I will put them in add them to a security group.
So would you, I guess, like, if you don't know the answer, let me know you don't know the answer. What would you do to figure out the answer, if that makes sense? How would you figure out the answer for this one?
More likely Google if I have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
well, Google is a good answer, but would you approach any other, let's say Google is not available and you have a team around you, what would be your approach then?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, naturally, if Google is down, I'm at home and Google is down, I'm going to call a friend or a few friends that I would know that hopefully they're available, or leave a voicemail and ask them and their experience, how would I go by that?
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good answer. Because obviously, if you don't know the answer, you won't say, I don't know the answer. So if you go to like an actual job interview, and I'm just giving you pointers, I'm not trying to criticize you or scream or do anything like that. I'm just trying to give you pointers. So if you're new to IT and you're brand new, because this is live right now and people are watching too, and I want people to I want you to take something from this video, whether it's you or anyone else watching this video. If you're new to IT, if you don't know the answer, don't say I don't know. Say I will research the answer, or you could say like I'll ask a coworker to help me out, or say something like I will go to my tickets to figure out the answer. Maybe go based on an old ticket or something like that. Like that would be the right answer. You can't say I don't know in a job interview, because that's too. Imagine they ask you 7 questions. You don't know any of the answers to 7 questions, and you say I don't know for all 7 questions. That becomes a problem.
Especially in the job interview, you wanna get that, like, just remember that flow, that you can say, oh, I would research first. I can research it if I can. If I'm not able to research it, I will reach out to my coworkers. It's always, you want to use that. Why? Because people want to know, are you a team player or not, right? So, yes. But when you say that I will approach my team, this means that they're gonna like that, because in IT we heavily rely on team members. We heavily rely on coworkers. So then you can also use like, oh yeah, I would use documentation. If we have a ticketing system, we have a knowledge base, from IT, I would try to use that before I approach this call. I may, if I don't know, I saw that ticket and I really don't know about it, I would really use these. So then, I don't waste my time with the client. So certain things, you want to make a flow in your answer. It has to be very clean, and you just want to, if you don't know, you want to make sure you want to hit those areas, that rather than just saying, oh, I don't know,
Yes.
All right. So ask a question. Kevin, You again or Steven? Which one?
Yeah, me. So I see you have RDP and SSH for remote desktop support solutions. So can you expand on the SSH portion? What does that mean? What do you use that with Windows Server? How have you used that before in your prior experience? I see that's on your resume.
Well, with the SSH, I researched and did the practice exams on SSH. I'm still learning about SSH because I'm more so using RDP for a lot of things, and I haven't really done any exercises right now currently that really zooms in on SSH specifically versus RDP. So I am still studying that subject.
And are you using that for Windows Server or are you using it for Linux? How are you using that?
It was going to be Windows Server, yes. But I did do a SSH. I had a Chromebook, and I was trying to get Windows 10 on there, Ubuntu. I wanted Ubuntu, which I did manage to side load it on there. But I had to unlock the bootloader and everything like that on the Chromebook. No, I had to take a chip out. It was a chip in there. I had to open it up and take that out. But good old Chromebook. But I did have to SSH. I used SSH tunneling. What did I use that for? Because I was doing front end programming at the time. I'd use SSH in the shell, and I connected to download. I think it was upload some. I think it was a files I had to do. Trying to get access to some files. But it was, I'm still practicing with learning about SSH.
Just want to make sure because I see it there on your resume. And just furthermore, can you tell me why you would use SSH or RDP, one over the other, the differences, why you would use one over the other?
Yeah, well, I don't know that right now. That's what I'm trying to figure out for myself. I haven't really got on the subject, but that's what I'm trying to, that's the angle I'm approaching it by learning is knowing the difference in what situations would I use secure shell versus remote desktop.
So maybe for a tip, you may want to remove SSH because the answers that you gave me all are like, it's like I can counter it. I can counter it to really make sure that you didn't know this SSH part, right? So I would remove SSH and stick to the one that you really know, which is RDP. And can I take over, Kev, over here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So since this is how interviews work sometimes. They don't go by just paper. It's most of the time, if somebody engages you and they want to hire you, they will be happy to ask you more questions. But some people will just to prove it to you that you're not ready. Since you talk about RDP, I'm going to now counter that, like I'm going to use that against you. So let's see if you know this. RDP, what is the port that we use to RDP into the machine? What is that port?
3389.
Awesome. So you see how you said something that I counter ask you something that I wanted to make sure that either I'm going to go far with you or I'm just going to throw at things at you to prove it to you to say that you're not ready, right? But since you gave me that answer, I like that. Now, I'll be like, okay, now let me go back to my sheet now. You see how it works?
Correct.
Because you're dealing with humans, right? You're dealing with humans. They're kind of like studying your answers, your behavior, and all that kind of stuff. So it's never just like I'm gonna just pick up a paper. I'm gonna ask this person 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm gonna hire this person, right?
Right. Like a teleprompter or something like that.
So
by the way, I do like. Sorry to interrupt. I do like your answer, and I like the way that you expanded that example you gave of the Chromebook and unlocking the bootloader. Like that alone was. I like that because that shows me that you're interested in other things. You're trying, you're expanding your knowledge. You're not just in your comfort zone. And you're actually interested kind of a lot of these higher level, more advanced topics.
So just make sure it's a little cleaner answers than saying left and right tunnels, left, right.
Yeah.
The answers are good, but it has to be a little cleaner. Because you want to show that confidence in the interview that even if you don't know, at least you know the basics, and after that you always want to end something more advanced. I'm still learning with practice labs. I'm still doing this stuff, and I had my lab for Ubuntu, and I'm gonna expand my learning on that. You see now that's a little cleaner finish to that end. To that question.
Yeah, if you can't finish right, like with tunneling, if you can't fully explain it, don't even mention it. Just say, oh, I did this, but don't go that in depth. Don't say tunneling. If you don't remember exactly what you did, because then they're gonna be like, oh, well, does he really know what he's talking about, or is he just looking at some guide? And then So you gotta got to be careful with how you answer things sometimes.
Steven?
Thank you, guys.
Okay, I'm gonna make a switch little gears here. All right, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a scenario here, and I want to tell you, I want you to tell me what the problem is that I'm talking about, and see how you would fix this. You have on your resume that you deal with like you like to work with remote users and stuff like that. Okay, so let's just say you were working at I was going to hire you, and with all the craziness that's going on right now, people are getting on planes and they're going to different places. Let's just say I got on a plane and I went somewhere, and I got off the plane and I went back home, and I was like, wait a minute, I can't get on the internet. Something's going on here with my laptop. I called up the help desk and I get, I send in a ticket. Then you get on the phone with me, and what would be one of the questions you would ask me? Now, I just was traveling. I came back to my house. What was the first thing? And I would say to you, well, I tried to open up my laptop, but I can't get on the internet, not even at home. Like, what's going on here? And then how would you what would the first thing you would have me try as far as in your troubleshooting steps? How would you go about this? What do you think is wrong with my laptop? Yes, because it was working when I left, but when I got on the plane, I traveled, I got back home, it's not working. Can you help me out with this? Like, how would you go about that?
Yes, I would definitely bring up the attention that I would ask the client, I would ask the customer that, were you using your laptop while you were on the plane? If they tell me yes, they was connected to the internet on the laptop while on the plane, I would then suggest to them the steps needed to ensure that airplane mode is off on their laptop, and to re-enable the wireless. It would automatically, once you cut airplane mode, it will automatically cut the Wi-Fi back on. So I would direct them to the bottom right corner of their screen on a desktop, to the notification area if it's Windows 10 system, and cut off or click on airplane mode if it's highlighted.
Bravo. That is very good. That was excellent, by the way. That is very good. You would be amazed when people do not even get that one even close. That is very good, young man. Very good. That was a very, very good job.
Danish?
All right. Well, extremely basic question. How do you find an IP address on a machine? On a Windows machine?
Yes, I would definitely open command prompt, or I would do, Windows key R on the run and type in CMD, and I would put in IP config on that.
Okay, so you got the IP address, and now I'm the engineer talking to you. Hey, can you also give me the DNS of this machine?
The DNS server. I think that would be IP config all, or
just IP config.
It may be on the IP config. No, it would be on IP config. DNS server would be on IP config.
So IP config. And if I say, I don't see a DNS server in IP config, or I need some more information, you already gave me the answer, which is all. But how would you type that?
I would. I'm sorry. It's / all. Okay. Right? Or is it whack? Or is it? Do they call it whack? Or is / space? Are those two different terms there?
Yeah.
So that's good. That's a good answer.
Any other questions, Anish?
No, I think after this, I'm just going to show my screen and test him with the practical stuff.
Heifa, you're back. Heifa, you got a question or no?
She's back, number 2.
You want me to ask a question, Heifa, or you're good for today? Or?
Did you ask I only have one question to ask because I wasn't
What
here
question
for
was
some
it?
of it. So if a client calls you and they say, I think my computer got infected with a virus. Did you ask this one yet? Sorry, I had to step away. My parents called from overseas.
No, it's no worries.
But so if you have a computer that's infected on your domain, what's the first steps that you would take?
If I have a computer that's infected, I would, first of all, I would get access to the system, and I would start it in safe mode first. Then I would check the event viewer log and see what recent programs, if any, were installed on there. And I would try to maybe uninstall a program. If it was a recent install of a program, I would basically uninstall the program. I would make sure I clear any junk files and folders on the system. And then I would try to boot back up into normal mode and see how the system reacts to me. If that doesn't work, then I will move on to or create another theory, as the CompTIA troubleshooting steps say. Create a theory.
I like the troubleshooting steps, but what would your first reaction be with that computer? Not to go in and troubleshoot and try to find it, but like, what's the first thing you're gonna think to like do? Like, oh my God, this computer is on my domain and it's infected.
Well, I've never been asked this situation before, but is there a way I could take it off the domain or put it like on some type of temporary hold or something like that from the domain?
So yeah,
is that possible?
Take it off the network is what I would do first, and then the rest is fantastic. Sorry, Diaz, I know this is your realm.
Put it back on a work group. Is it regular?
What I would say, what you would do, the first thing that I would say that you would do is unplug it from the network. That's simple. Just unplug the network cable. If there's an Ethernet cable, disconnect the Wi-Fi, something. Just get it off the network.
Think about this question.
Next thing I would say I would go by whatever your company policy is or something like that.
So think about in an interview term, think about this question. Haifa was actually focusing on like, what would you do in that case if somebody's computer is infected, right? So you look at the person's, like, how are they asking you for more steps, or they're just like, what would you do if it's in the incident? So you would give Kev Diaz give you a perfect answer. Unplug it from the network, because that's the first thing we want to do, right? Because let's say if a computer has encryption going on, you know, those crypto viruses and stuff like that, it gets encrypted, then it will hit every single target around that network to encrypt other machines. So you would want to take that machine out. Later, you can give them more steps, but I think you gotta look at the interview. They may even end the question right there. Oh, great job! That's what I wanted to hear. You just want to unplug it, and they may even proceed more if they want to ask you, what would you do next then? Right? That's something you can, what Kev Diaz basically give you, and then more steps can be learned from, proper channels. But the first one is to unplug it.
To add to what the gentlemen here are saying is, when you work help desk, you're the first line of communication. So you're like the first responder. So you deal with the threat immediately. Like, you're not gonna do you know what I mean? So the first thing you do is, oh my God, this person has the flu. I don't want to give everyone else the flu. So let's isolate this person. That's how I think about it.
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna ask one more question, and that's it for me. So I'm gonna ask you one more question. All right. So my question is going to be, and this is a question that I ask people a lot that are because everyone's working from home right now, right? So you got to keep in mind, people are working from home right now, and they have their laptops and everything. So, what troubleshooting steps will you take if someone's having an issue with their docking station? So they have a docking station, it's plugged in, the monitors are not working, and the USBs are not working. So their mouse and keyboard's not working. The two monitors are plugged in. It's not working for some reason. So what troubleshooting steps would you take to troubleshoot that for someone that has a docking station? Because a lot of people are working from home, and they, their monitors are not working for some reason, but the laptop works totally fine. So what would you do? It's a scenario type question.
So firstly, I am kind of new to the dock. I've never had a docking station ever in my life. I have zero experience with docking stations, but the first thing that I would do, I would first of all take note of the lights. How are the lights looking, right? Are they blinking? Then I would probably, the next step I would do, I would disconnect any peripherals, take the laptop off the docking station and reseat the laptop. And then from there, I would check the lights and then check to see if the monitors are working. Then if that's not working, then I would probably go into personalized, is it not personalized, display settings, and I would check to see if it detect the monitor, the built-in monitor, and I would detect to see if I connect to any external monitors. If that's not working, then I would try to see if the driver was recently updated, and I would maybe try to roll back the driver and then try to reseat the computer again and see if that fixes the problem.
Got it. Anything else you would do, or?
From that, I would check the docking station power. Well, maybe I should have checked that first, but I'm sure the docking station I've never had one, but I'm sure I guess obviously you have a power source. I would check the power source of the docking station. So that would definitely be included in first steps. Should be
good. Yeah. I'm asking this because a lot of people are working from home because of the whole pandemic. So this is something that I'm going to ask because I want to know what you would do if a user calls you in your help desk your line support, number one. And usually you're the first line, you're the first defense of attack for IT. So you're picking up the phone for everything. So someone might be having an issue with their docking station and they can't see any of their monitors, their keyboard doesn't work for some reason, their mouse doesn't work for some reason. So you do get calls on that a lot, by the way. So anyone that's watching this, you do get calls on Helpdesk with docking stations. So I just wanted to see what your analytical thought process is, and you gave me a good answer. So Kevin? You have a question, Kevin, or no? If not, we'll go with Steven.
You have somebody calling you, and they're trying to print, and they're struggling with it, and the computer. You see it in the job queue, and it keeps going into the job queue, but the printer isn't ever receiving the actual print job, and it's not doing anything. What would be one step that you could take potentially to fix this problem? And you clear the job queue and print more and put other print jobs, but it doesn't actually print. It just keeps filling up the job queue and doesn't do anything.
Interesting. Printers, good old printers. Okay, so I would first check to see what printer is selected on the system itself. I would check to see what printer is selected. Is it set as default printer? Go into view printers on the network and see if it's set as default. And then I would be in the Helpdesk account. So I would try to go into the, what is it called? The spooler? Is it spooler, right? I would go in there and try to cancel or pause that job on that system. And then, let me see, and try to print a test page, see if I can print a test page from that computer and see if the connection has been restored, if any. If not, I would try to take another angle at it and see the actual printer itself and see if there are any jams or anything like that on the printer itself, or if I have to do any maintenance or anything like that on it. Those would be some of the steps that I would take to troubleshoot that problem.
So let's say that, right, you check that, you tried to print test page, but it's just the printer's just not receiving, and the printer's fine. The printer's totally fine hardware wise, everything. It's on the computer is where the problem is. Is there something that maybe you can do? You mentioned the name of it, but is there something you can do to that thing that you mentioned to potentially make it work?
Well, like the spooler, I would check to see, just did a spooler. Let me see if I can, good old spooler. I think it was dealing with possibly the permissions. I would check the permission settings for that user to see if they can access that printer.
So the proper answer would be to restart the printer spooler service. That's the word. It's the service for the printer spooler, and that's something that you'll see often. And I've had it happen to me way too many times.
It happens in Helpdesk a lot.
I would write that down and keep that because you're probably going to use it.
So I can do that within a spooler, or do I have to go like the services.msc and
you have to go to services first.
Okay.
Because the job queue for Windows doesn't give you a lot of those options or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Reset
that's a common issue you'll have in IT Helpdesk is dealing with printers, by the way. It's a printer is a Helpdesk best friend. Well, not really, but but anyway, Steven, you have any questions?
Yes. All right. This is going to be a little bit of a scenario again. You're walking around in your building and you come across one computer. You take a look at it from a visual cue, or just looking at the desktop itself. You walk by, you're like, First of all, number one, when you look at it, can you tell if that computer is joined to the domain or not joined up to the domain just by looking at the actual screen that's on there? Second, if you find out that it's not on the domain by that cue, what is the process of putting it back onto the domain? And number three, what kind of account, what kind of user account do you need to put a computer back onto the domain? You'll be doing this your whole entire IT career. This is very, very important. This is the number one staple, I think, that you need to know. So if I were to hire you, I would want you to do all those things. Walk by, be very vigilant, taking a look at the, when you walk around to people's computers, take a look when the ones that they're not logged into, say, wait a minute, there's something weird with that one. What's going on with that? But what cue in your mind from just by looking at that could tell you that something's wrong with it? And then how would you go about getting that thing back up to the domain? And what kind of computer account do you need to do that?
And you said that visually, would it be logged in or not logged in? Would it be a login screen?
Up at the logon screen, when you're looking at it, what would be a cue that maybe you would see that, what would be on the screen that would tell you if it's on the domain or not on the domain? Number one.
It will be, I know when you put the username and password, I can check the bottom and see if it is on the domain. It would say if it's on the domain or not. It would usually have like some slash or some wax symbols.
I'm looking for the universal user, the user account. That's basically when you boot up a computer, you see this on the front of the desktop. This thing's on like the actual screen. Like, what would it say? It says what on it? It's not going to say a specific user account, but what account is that you're going to see on there? It's on every single Windows 10 computer that's out in a domain environment today.
What, like administrator account?
No.
What account is on there? It would have on there the login screen. And
what is that account called? Or what is that account that's showing? It's called the. Okay, I'll actually give you this one. The account that you see is called the other user account. Okay, so that's gonna mean that machine you can put on to the actual domain. Okay, so, but let's just say if it wasn't that, and you log into that machine, how would you log into that machine to get it back onto the domain?
I would log on as the administrator account. I would cut it off and then and do the advanced startup options, and I would do the command prompt, and I would enable the administrator account, the default built in, and then I would log in with that, and then I would add it to domain. I will go back and go to the right click on the computer and see the properties and see if it's on the domain or a work group. And if it's on a work group, I will add it back to the domain using the information that I have for the company domain network.
Okay.
Now I will log back out of the administrator account and be sure I will be able to log into the.
So what do you put? What do you put on the username? If you're logging in as admin, what would be the right way of typing it to log in as a local account? Since you said that.
And there's two answers to this, by the way.
Okay, if I'm logging in as a local account, I will just put the username and password.
So if they're talking about a computer that's already fully joined on the domain, you want to log in as a local account. How do you do that? What do you put in the username?
In the username?
Yeah.
I want to log into a local account. I don't think I ever. So I just go to other user and I'll just.
You can't just put a username and password for that account. What do you put?
Right.
It's not gonna let you do it.
Yeah. I wish it would.
I guess I will put the fully qualified domain name in there if I can't just put the username in there alone. So I will put the domain. Would I use the domain and then do I do the / and then I do the username and then I use the password with that?
You're close, but remember, you don't want the domain. You want the local user. So instead of the domain, what would you put there?
So you're logging in locally to the machine, not to the domain.
I didn't know I can specify like a local account instead of just putting.
You can do that. Yes, you can do that. Yes.
Yeah, it's okay if you don't know. You could just say you don't know.
I didn't know that. No,
we do that a lot. We do that a lot in Helpdesk because sometimes the computer goes corrupted, or you have an issue where you get a trust relationship with the computer. That basically means it fell off the domain, so it's no longer in the system anymore. So you have to log in with a local account. So it would be actually, to answer your question, it would be the / and then admin or whatever the local account is, and then you have the password for that, which is provided to you by your Helpdesk or whoever it is. And then you log in with that account, and then you do what you just said before. You actually put it back on work group, remove it from the domain, and then re-add it again, and you would use that same account to add it again and everything. Because
And then, go ahead.
No, it'd be either // or it would be a computer name. And
Yeah.
you'll see on the Windows login screen, it'll say, usually if you go to other user on the bottom, it'll say, is this not the correct domain or something like that? And you click on that, it'll show you the computer name. It'll say, if you want to log in locally, this is what you need to type. It'll
Usually,
give you
yeah,
exactly what you
usually
need to type.
the other user, yes. But
Yeah.
wow.
yeah, so you would do that in Helpdesk, because a lot of times you have these calls where the computer is no longer in the system, or it fell off the domain, or someone has now logged into that computer for 60 days. So now it's not even there anymore, or it fell off the domain. So you have to log in as a local account in order to resolve that issue, if that makes sense. So go ahead, Donish. Go ahead, Donish.
Yeah, go ahead, Donis. Go ahead.
Yeah, because I don't want to lose this skill. Because the thing is this, we need to. I'm trying to help him where I feel like now I found something basics, right? So can I switch to my machine and have him do something so then it can match what you guys are doing?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
And then you're co-host, so you could do it.
Okay. So can you guys see the screen right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So Frederick, it seems like you had some trouble, with the local user concept. I just want to ask you something very basic. Show me how to create a local user on Windows 10 machine.
I would go to control panel. I would go to the search bar, and I would type in control. Usually it would pop up control panel. Then I would click on users, good old users. And then I would click, I got a little lag here, I guess. Okay, yeah. Then I would go to manage accounts in the middle section. That's correct.
All right.
And then.
All right.
Okay.
So well, I'll do that. That's fine. I accept this answer. I accept it. Show me another way.
Another way I could do good old command prompt. So I could go down to the search bar again, type in CMD, and I would do net space user, and I would put the desired username, space, put the desired password.
Password like that.
Is it like that?
Just
Net user space user. Is that right?
Net user space, the username desired, space, the password desired, space, /. Oh, wait, do I need to go to, if I do /add, do /add on that and push enter. What do I need
then? What do I do
specify
after?
the- No, /, yeah. /add.
At?
Yeah, but I think do I need to specify?
He said /add.
Add, like that.
Net user.
The other slash.
No,
The other slash.
Oh, forward. Okay. Add. Then
it'd be add. Press enter.
Doesn't recognize that.
Net user. You have a error right there. It's net space user.
Net space user. You want me to do this? Okay.
Yes.
Then?
And then space username.
So
And then
the
space
decon. Yep.
password you want.
Okay. All right, let's do
Password
this.
one. Okay.
And then space.
Space.
/add.
Enter. Okay.
Access is denied.
Okay.
Okay. Then I would say I would see what user I'm gonna log in as. I'll have to run that as administrator. I have to run the command prompt as administrator.
That's good.
Yes.
So now it seems like you know how to add a user one way or another way. I like that. You could find that thing, because I got a little worried when you said that you don't know how to log into a local account. You didn't know how to log into a local account
or denote it, I guess.
Because you can't even do that. You can't even do the domain stuff without knowing this stuff, right? Because you added a computer to a domain after you knowing the admin accounts. Does that make sense?
That's correct. Yes.
So okay, now while we are here, how would I log into a local user account since they already told you? Show it to me now, because they already gave you some answers. How would I log into a local account to this machine? This is a domain join machine.
What you talking about? No, I'm good. But yeah, so I would log out of this account.
And walk me through, because this is all test, right? So,
okay.
How would you log out?
Press the power button that's right above that. start button.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Okay, you want me to do? Okay.
No, the image.
Okay,
The image.
the
yes,
image.
use the image. And sign and click on sign out.
Sign out. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we'll give it a second. All right, let's do
Wow, I
connect.
never used that. Okay, well, all right.
Learn something
All
new
right.
every day, man.
All right.
So we would go to the bottom left corner and we click on other user.
Okay.
Good old other user. And can you hover over the sign into?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's right. All right, yes. In the username, you're gonna put dot whack.
Whack.
Yeah.
What is that? Okay.
Backslash.
The forward slash or backslash
No,
here.
backslash for sure.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Yep.
And you will put what user that I'm trying to log in as, really.
Okay. Is that the correct name of this machine?
Is that the correct name of the machine? No.
Is that the machine name or is that the domain name?
The dot backslash.
No, on the bottom right here.
It's assigned to.
Is that the machine name?
That's a domain. That's a domain.
That's a domain.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay, now, is that the computer name or a domain name?
Sign in to practice labs. That would be a domain.
So what is this then?
Sign in to. So
That's-
I mean, to be fair, you wouldn't be able to tell the
That would be the
That's the
computer
computer.
name. Then.
The reason
'cause
I
we
did this
use the-
practice with you is so you can remember it. When you do the dot and slash, then you're getting the computer name
Computer
and you're
name.
removing that domain name,
Mm.
right? Because you need that. You need to get into locally into this machine with your local admin, right? Well,
Yes.
That's good. That's good. You're good. You can
Wow.
do this stuff.
You have any
Right.
other questions, Danish?
I have more practical tests, but I'm gonna come back once you guys, or you want me to just go in one flow?
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. All right. Cool. Then, all right. Let's check your troubleshooting. Because this
Troubleshooting
is
steps.
stuff that look. How many? Most of your calls are related to what? When a user is working on Outlook, when a user is working on a web browser, when a user is doing something in their machine, most of the time, right? We don't do imaging every day. We don't just, a computer is not working and let me just go and image every single day. We don't do that unless you work for some kind of deployment company. That's a different thing then. But most likely, if you're a user support tech, IT support tech, working with companies, you're just working on what users are touching. It could be a mobile devices, it could be computers, and just what applications they're using. So imagine how many calls you're going to get on Outlook, on a web browser, on things like that. So here's a situation. A user, the scenario, let's make a scenario. My name is Monica. Bringing Monica back again. So my name is Monica, and I'm having an issue. I'm trying to go to this website called jobskillshare.org, and it says that this is the error, and I just called you. First, I'm calling you. How would you respond to me? Like, okay, I'm just calling you. Let's do a scenario. Hi, Frederick. I'm calling you. I'm having this issue. How would you kind of like, walk me through now? Because I'm a user now.
Okay. So, all right. Well, I hate to hear that you're having that issue. Let's go ahead and take some steps so that we can troubleshoot this and get you solved and get this problem solved. That would be my first.
And scenarios that you already know how to remote into the machine, like you're doing the using SCCM or Zoom or whatever. You're on my machine right now. We're both on the phone right now. So I'm trying to get into this site. But Frederick, if I go to Google, I can go to Google. I can go to any other site. But this specific site that I can't go, and I need to do my work like in 30 minutes, or I have to like really submit something in this website. Please help me out.
Okay. So, and it's this one specific site. So could you try to open a new tab for me?
Sure. And do what?
And could you try to navigate to yahoo.com, please?
Yahoo.com. By the way, I hate yahoo.com.
That's why I told you to go to it. But
customer will say that too, right?
Yeah, I was like, yeah, and I
All
can't
right.
really respond.
Ooh.
Okay.
Not working.
What did Danish do here?
That's not good. Could you try putting www dot in front of Yahoo?
Oh, www in front of that. Okay.
The www.yahoo.com.
Remember, I'm a user, right? So
Correct.
a user is telling you that, oh, but I can see Google. I saw Google. I can. So and you're just like in the active call right now, right? You're reacting to something that you just seeing on the screen. So how would you think about those steps, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, to buy some time, I'll ask if I can, gain full control over the system.
Well, you have full control right now.
You have full control right now.
You got the.
But I would go to. Oh, I know. I would go open the command prompt for one.
Okay.
And
walk me through. Remember,
he's a user. He doesn't know what he's doing.
When you say command prompt, I'm like,
No, that's why I was asking. Like, was I doing it myself, or was I asking you to take the step? That's why I was like, if I got control over the system.
Actually, you're right. Actually, no, I take that back. You have the command prompt. Okay.
Well, yeah. So yeah, let's go to command prompt. Start. Let's go to search CMD command prompt.
Okay.
And
open that.
And we would IP space config and IP space config, and we're gonna press
IP
enter
space config.
I mean IP config 1 altogether.
Okay.
And press enter after that, please.
Enter.
Yes.
Okay.
IP port address 192.168. So it's not in the PIPA address, so that's good. Okay, so it's got an IP address. So I would go into the internet settings. I would go into the settings in the internet browser.
And
so I would close out command.
How do you navigate to that?
Let me just.
In the internet window, press the gear icon to the far right next to the.
Okay, I think my son probably will come in. Oh, can you close the door?
Oh,
just lock it. Okay, thanks. All right.
Yeah, and go to the bottom, second to last, where it says internet options.
Okay, good job.
Okay.
And then let's see here. All right. Yeah, I got to zoom in here. There we go. Okay. Now that's weird. Let's see. We got to check and see, make sure that website. Well, it was more than one website it wasn't accessing. See security. Can you click on security for me?
Sure.
Can you click on privacy?
Privacy.
Trusted sites. Trusted sites right there.
Mm-hmm.
Medium. Can you click on sites for me?
Mm-hmm.
That's not right, because if it's not accessing any site.
So what would you do?
I would try adding that URL that I was trying to access, but if it's not accessing Yahoo either, then it's not.
Can be adding everything, right?
It's only accessing.
Yeah. So what would you do next then if this is happening to the user?
Okay.
What would you do?
Well, I would go into the adapter settings. I was trying to see what's going on with this adapter, or I would go to the IP config all and make sure. But no, because the DHCP.
Everything looks working fine to me.
Okay, can we go to the adapter settings and see? Go to the bottom right and right click on the Wi-Fi symbol and go to internet. Is it internet options? Still the name. What's the name of it? Settings options. And I got Okay. All right. I got a little lag here, but okay. All right. We're going to go to properties right under the Ethernet section.
Okay.
Properties. I'm really lost, guys. Like,
does he have
keep working through it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep working through it. See where you
I thought he had some kind of help.
I need to access.
Like what commands would you run on CMD to, I guess, like on a basic level to see if maybe it's an issue with the web browser?
Do you know if you actually have internet?
I would actually have to ping. I would ping Google. I can ping Google.
Ping Google. Okay, let's ping Google.
Ping Google.
So I can ping. Well, not Google. Go back to the command prompt, please, and then ping. And ping, is it 8.8.8? Can I do that? Is that like a thing? 8.8.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And enter.
Okay, so that looks like it's working. So what would you do next?
All right, so it's pinging. That's interesting right there. Okay. Wait, do I not have to do Google? Is it accessing Google, or was Google the home page?
Well, try. We don't try because you have to try it, right? If I tell the user is going to say, "Yeah, I was able to access everything," and now I can't access anything, right?
Yeah, never trust the user.
Their answers are going to be very much like things. So let's just go to Google.com. Okay, we're having issues.
Here we go.
Cannot be found. Okay. Okay, so
Are we allowed to throw in any kind of help?
I need to check my date. Is the time and date correct on the system? I guess that would be correct.
No,
I guess
it's correct. Time is
it
correct.
wouldn't be anything. Okay.
Can he use help from someone who like
Yeah, he can. He can.
I don't think he needs it yet, though. I think you're on the right path.
Let me try to go back
to either.
All right.
Oh, come on. Okay, so guys. All right, so let's go back to the adapter settings. I need to get into adapter settings. Can we go back to the internet options?
Okay.
Settings, connection settings. Let's scroll all the way down.
Okay.
And let's do change adapter options.
Change adapter option.
Right there on
okay, so we're getting into the adapter. All right, there you go. We got one
Okay,
adapter.
There you go. What are you gonna do there?
All right, we're gonna right click on that. I
Uh-huh.
don't think this would really make any difference because we're gonna do properties at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is gonna make any differences pretty much.
What do you want to look at?
All right, and we're going to do double click on IP4 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, this shouldn't really make any difference because I just checked. It's an IP address automatically. Okay, that's not a problem. DNS server. So we got the preferred DNS server. It's a virtual.
So would you try something in here or say that
not necessarily? It's not necessarily connected to a domain then, right? If it's on a DNS server for Google.
Well, here's the thing. Well, now this is more of a question answer kind of thing to know your skills too. Is this machine on a domain or is this machine a workgroup?
Right. That's what I'm looking at, the 8.8. But anyway, if it's on a 8.8, I don't think it's on a domain because that's not pointing to a domain controller.
Is that your answer without trying?
No, that's not my answer. Let's go
How would you find out?
How would you find out if it's not a domain? Where would you go?
Let's open up File Manager at the bottom next to the store icon. There's a lot of windows.
Where? Walk me through.
No, on the taskbar. I'm sorry. Right by on the right side of the search bar, you got the Cortana.
I think you have it open already.
Oh, geez. Okay, that lag is terrible, guys. All right, so on the left side, we're going to right click on this PC, and we're going to click on Properties at the bottom.
Okay.
Good old Properties.
Now let us know what do you see?
We got the computer name, and we're on a root group, so we're not on a domain.
Okay.
So the computer's not on the domain.
So that's good. That's fast. I just wanted to make sure that you know this. Okay, now we're not on a domain. What else would you do to see if you can try different things to make sure, hey, she got the IP address working, things working. What can I do right here to because you had a full control to see if I can make this thing connection, at least try it or see if that one option will work or next option.
If all of that is well, it's obviously physically connected because it pinged for us, so I don't have to check that.
What's the next step after that? We know, right? You have an internet connection. What's the next step to resolving to get to that website? What's the next service that gets touched after that?
No, but even before that, Diaz, there's this really, really basic step that you can take that I know you're gonna kick yourself if I say, so I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna try to point you in that direction. How else would you check if these sites are working?
Well, I would go back down to right click on I guess I was on there, but right click on the internet connection icon in the taskbar at the bottom and click open.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. But think of a more simple solution than that. You're like full troubleshooting mode. I want you to like.
So let me make it a little
like
more.
less
Let me make it more simple so that it doesn't become too broad for him to. Okay, this user is on the work group. This user is calling from a home network. Let's just call it that, right? From a home network, and the user, you came all the way down here because I want to make it so then we don't forget this area. You came all the way down here. You opened it. You have this information in front of you. A user is using a home network, right? Then a user doesn't know anything about the computer yet. What would you do over here in this specific screen to, this is a home network now, right? So does the data in front of you makes any sense to you, or can you change something?
Does that look right?
Well, if the DNS server is on, now the default gateway will already be pointed back to the router.
So if I'm a normal user, do you think I can do these things? Would I understand these things?
Yeah, if I'm on a home network, I could try to set it as a static IP, but I don't think that would.
Is this static or is this dynamic?
That's dynamic right there.
Okay, so what's the DNS? Is DNS static or dynamic?
Well, DNS server is static.
Okay, so what would you do then now? Like, I'm trying to help you now.
Yeah, well, what are we doing? This
a user, this is a user. User doesn't know these things, right? So you should be asking a user, why is this static, right?
Let me ask you a clear, clarifying question. What does DNS do? What like just big picture? What's its purpose?
DNS is basically like the library for resolving your IP address with the actual domain name.
Okay, so when you go to your browser and you type in google.com,
right?
How do you know that it's actually google.com?
Like what? Like I know DNS. So
how can you check that?
How do I check? Like, wait, how do I check what? I'm sorry.
That you're actually going to google.com. That you're actually getting the proper address.
So how would I get the address of a URL? The IP address of a URL? Oh, that's what you're asking?
Yeah, because think about the steps, right? You're going to google.com. There you have internet. You have a proper DNS server. Am I actually connected to the actual server? Or maybe because it can't be that. There has to be something wrong somewhere in between there.
So what like to help you out, like what's going on this screen? As always, pay attention to detail. So what's going on this screen?
We have set it's automatic for the IP, but we have specified the DNS server. So we're not getting the DNS server automatically.
Exactly. So here's the thing. Maybe you can, because you have a control right now, you can take a screenshot of this. I'm just giving you troubleshooting steps right now. You didn't change this, right? Somebody did this. So could it be a virus on her machine or something happened, or somebody messed around with her DNS before her son, whatever, right? So you see this value in there. Simple, like you have the ability to change that. Take a screenshot, change it. I'm just gonna help you over here. Let's just change that right now, and say okay, right? So then what would you do? You change that thing. What would you do now?
Now what you want to do? Now that we changed that.
Now that we changed that, I could take an extra step if I wanted to maybe I was gonna say take an extra step if I wanted to maybe disable the Ethernet and then re-enable it. I don't know. That's like an extra step.
No. Like what would you do? What would you do? It's fine. What would you do now to test this?
I would go back to the browser and try a different like www.cnn.com or something totally different. And see if that's gonna work for me.
Still not working. So we come back here, you go in here, you refresh. Oh, Google is not working.
All right. So we have a good IP address. Everything is automatic we got everything coming automatic to us from our connection, Ethernet connection.
So when you did that,
I would check.
Mm-hmm.
I
just want to give you, when you do that, you want to be making sure as well that they did update it correctly, because you did it in automatic. They didn't even pick that right DNS. So here you check mark one thing. Okay, it's getting IP address. It's getting the right DNS. So far, you're not sure yet, but what else can you do now? Oh, okay, browser's still not working. what the hell is
Well,
going
I
on?
would try to see if there's something going on with the router itself, but wouldn't I know that?
Okay, no, okay, good.
Nothing's
okay,
wrong
good
with it.
question.
That's
Okay, no,
good,
good question in there. Okay, whenever you're doing troubleshooting, you're working with her, and that should have been done very early, by the way.
Okay.
You're having issue with this machine. Hey, Monica, do you have a mobile device on that network? So you already asked this, and I'm just giving you these tips right now because that's very important for you to talk. Look, you already spent like almost 20, 50, not less than 15 minutes, but this could have been some of the things you could find out quickly, right? Yeah, you know what, Frederick, on my mobile device, I am actually connected to my Wi-Fi, and I can get to job Skillshare, no problem. And by the way, my son is also on a Wi-Fi, and he can get to that site too. So now you have ruled out the you know,
The peripherals.
the router. The router's
Yes.
gone because now everybody else is can. I'm only having issue with this machine. So there are certain specific areas that we should know as an IT tech, even in entry level, by the way, this is entry level stuff. You should know how to get into browsers or check certain things to make sure it's not pointing to some wrong places. I already gave you some tips now. It's not pointing to some wrong places. What do you think?
Yeah, and to add to that, you never want to get yourself into the rabbit hole. You don't jump into the rabbit hole because it can go really deep, and you can spend a lot of time looking at things that won't help you that you didn't need to do if you could have checked it through some other method, such as like what Donis just said.
Since you already came to this spot and you couldn't figure this out, I would assume that probably you don't know about proxies or anything.
Like if it's connected to a proxy server?
Yeah, like from the internet browser, does it have any proxy setup?
I would click on, would it be connections tab?
Okay, then where to
go? How do I check it? It says you need to configure a proxy. So it's not on a proxy right now.
Okay, so I will assume because now you look, I gave you, I even came over here by myself. So this is the weak link. So you gotta note it down there. Make sure you understand this, how to check machines if they are on proxy or not. So let's say if I click on LAN settings, where is it pointing right now?
Okay, so local area network settings, proxy server, use a proxy server for this LAN. And it's pointing to 127.0.0.1.
And what is that?
That will be the proxy server's IP address.
Are you sure?
Well, what is the IP address of what? Like, what is physically? What is 127.0.0.1? Like, what's the name for that?
And that's like, let's say, technical question. That could be a very technical question, right? They're simple.
Okay.
What is 127.0.0.1? What does that mean?
So it's the address 127.0.0.1.
It's actually a term. It's actually something you should. It's named something. What's it pointing to? That address points to something on your computer. What's it pointing to?
Yeah, it's pointing to somewhere. So maybe
127. Is that the loopback? Is that the loopback thing?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
okay.
Right.
Okay,
Yep.
but
Okay.
loopback means what? If I put 127.0.0, what does it mean? Like, what is
Okay,
it doing?
loopback checks to see if your computer is on the network. Doesn't it send a package? It sends out packages and then loops it back to see if you can receive those packages back.
Loops it back to what?
Loops it
It
back to
sends
what?
back to the port. It sends back to port 80.
Yeah, it's itself. It's the computer that you're on right now, basically. That's
so you
the
need
simplest.
that's another thing you should put it down in your notes. Make sure you're able to give an answer with this, because if it's a loopback address is going back to the same machine, we call local host, right? You put or the IP address of that host. But a lot of time people use loop address. Why? Because if this is a dynamic machine and I don't want to come here and plug in IP again and again, and I want to use a dynamic IP, I would just put in my DNS 127.0.0.1. And usually a lot of people use that in a lab environment when we give out domain controllers. The domain controllers need a static IP address, right? Like, you want to give that static IP so it doesn't change. So if I don't want to do that, I can just use dynamic IP, which you will never see that in a real production environment. But I don't want to take that, I don't want to be doing that stuff. So it will loop it back to that address if it changes. But in some points, in some areas, people will be using it for web servers. Like, you want to use that as a like an address that I want, anybody goes to this specific server, like if they type 127.0.0.1, I can point that server to my address or something like that on a IIS web server, Apache server, whatever. That's little advanced stuff, but I would like you to do some research. So let's say you found this out. There's a proxy settings, setup settings, and you may be, who the hell would do that, right? Now, the reason this can happen, if somebody downloads something bad in their computers, this stuff happens, and it's very common. You put a bad software or something like that, they will try to add these things in your computer. So then anything you browse, it kind of like, it kind of proxied out of their IP addresses. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it will not be
intercept.
It will not be at 127. There should be something else, but it's like it's either hacked or some companies uses it to actually see the traffic or control the traffic, right?
Yeah.
So, but it's getting rare now. A lot of people don't do this anymore.
Oh, but Danish, at the end of the day, like people are saying in chat that we're roasting him. We're not roasting him. We're trying to help him become a better tech.
No.
Oh no.
People are saying in chat. People, I'm reading chat right now.
A lot of people don't
like
know
paying
about the
fees.
history of this. The history started. This technical interview started from a hot seat. If you guys don't know, please go back to JobSkills Share channel and find out what's the concept of this. Frederick actually applied for internship, and it was right.
Right. Volunteer guys.
And he is going to be interned in JobSkills Share. So I'm using this to find out his basics ability. Does he pass the internship? So
they're teaching me.
We're not only roasting people to okay, how do you do this? Because if I don't do this and if I just go straight to like a solution, then what's the point of this whole technical interview? So now he will never forget this. Why? Because now when he is troubleshooting something like a website, he will be thinking of 3 or 4 or 5 solutions right here, rather than me just, because imagine if I would have gone to the DNS and just unchecked it for him. He will never remember that. Right. And he would also work with a client, and he may see something like this and he may think that's okay because the client put it there. Well, the client did not put it there, right? Most of the time when a computer get hacked or something is happening, a client don't do these things because they don't even understand this stuff. So you as a technical person have the ability now to control over that machine to uncheck things, recheck it back. So even if it's there, you may want to take a screenshot and then come back and do it. So let's uncheck it because you found out that there's an entry.
1 second.
I wanna wait. Let me add to this, and also
I want to add to that too.
Yeah. Also, I want to add to it is that we're trying to make Frederick better, because in the job interview, they're not gonna give you pointers. They're just gonna say, "I'm sorry, we can't hire you."
Like, you didn't make it.
They're not gonna say anything like that. They're not gonna give you pointers. They're gonna be like, "Okay, you have not been accepted to this job," and they're gonna give you that rejection offer letter. So I'd rather you digest everything we tell you and then you learn from it, then you actually like not have anything to go with, and then you go to a job interview, then you're not prepared at all. So that's the reason why we're doing these things, if that makes sense.
The point of this,
that are watching the video on YouTube because they think that we're attacking him when we're not. We're just trying to help him, because some people think that. I'm reading on that. So
this is not supposed to be humiliating or degrading or anything of that sort. It's actually supposed to be helpful, and I guarantee if you go into an interview after this, you're going to be much more confident answering their questions rather than before you did this. Because you have a bunch of people on here who are professionals who are like, they're not grilling you to humiliate you. They're grilling you to like get your head in that, like to look at things from different perspectives and like learn how to solve.
And that's also because the thing is, this in this specific interview, this is not just a question and then we say, no, that's not how it's done. So let's move on to the second.
We want to make you better.
Then what's the point, right? We were not sitting here to tell him you're not ready, right? Because that I would have asked him I would have asked him 5 technical questions live right now and say, you're not ready. Let's just end this in 5 minutes, right? But this is why one technical issue is having so much. We're trying to understand how his thought process are working, how his technical ability, where his technical ability, and so then he can think of different scenarios and imagine his confidence level after this. Once he know these things, he will smoke almost everything because he has theoretical knowledge, he has the basics, but here's now he's actually trying to learn these things. But for people who are brand new, I know it's going to be hard for you to understand this concept. So make sure you type hot seat what we have on JavaScript shared. So make sure you do that, because then you know, you will understand.
And also I want to add to that is that this is to help him to be a better person in a job interview, and this is to help him so he can get out of his comfort zone, because you have to get out of your comfort zone if you go to a job interview. Because the thing is, when you go to a job interview, what happens is you go to the interview and then reality hits you in the face, and then you're nervous the entire time while answering these questions, and you're not prepared for the job interview. So that's the point of this video, is to help him. And then
Frederick,
after all this is over, obviously I'm going to talk to him separately, and then we'll talk about it.
What like Donish is giving right now is freaking gold, because even I'm learning stuff from this right now. This is stuff that I haven't used for a while, and I'm even learning this. I'm even now I'm refreshing my mind too, because I haven't really done this in a while as far as this kind of ticket or something like that coming in. So it's something to make me look for, and I've been doing it more than like 10 years. So you're definitely doing a good job. Like I said, we are not trying to do anything wrong here, but what Donish, I think, has given us is very gold for everybody here, even Haifa, everybody, because it's not something we do every single day. This is very, very good information. I mean, because Donish has more skill levels in this type of stuff. So really, it's a good thing for all of us.
And I want to say, Frederick, you have really good troubleshooting skills. I really like how you've been going through and finding these different things to look. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And you have different paths. So I think, with a little bit more time, a little bit more,
practice.
just more experience, more practice, just exploring different things. You're gonna be a really good tech.
I think you have a really good voice and you come off really well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
Your personality comes off really well, and I think if you get a phone thing, gig or whatever, you're gonna do very well killing it with like customers, because they're just gonna love you to death.
Thank you.
Because your voice is very, very pleasing to people, and which is good. So
I actually wanted to ask Donish, like, do you have any more questions, or do you want to close it out and let me know what you think, Donish?
He resolved the issue with that little uncheck. Most of the specific side issue was still not resolved. We thought maybe this would be a little quicker, but I wanted to make sure that this time I don't just walk through and not give solutions. I wanted to make sure that he learned this stuff.
Thank you.
So here, those are the basic things. You want to make sure that you check the proxy. You want to make sure that the DNS is not pointing to the wrong places. And specifically, if you talk about JavaScript shared, then I put a host entry. So I don't know if you know about local hosts. So you should know that, because sometimes people forget doing things. They put IP addresses in a local host, so then a site will not work. So if I remove that entry from the host, the JavaScript share will also work. But these are the things that can happen when computers are infected in a local environment, or somebody really mess around with their computers, and then things like that happens. Now, before we move on to somebody else, and I wanna ask you one more question right here, which is going to be extremely common, like Outlook, and I have people that will come to me and say 70% of their calls or 60% of their calls will relate to Outlook. So let's jump into Outlook right here, and let's see if you can figure this out right now. All right, so walk us through what's going on. Monica is calling you again, and she's like, when I click on Outlook, I am getting this error. How would you troubleshoot this? And there's no right and wrong answer. Let's see if you know about Outlook now.
Okay. I honestly haven't started practicing with Outlook, but it says file access is denied. So that's obviously a permission error, permission required to access users, Frank. So I would have to I would copy that location. I would try to, can I copy that out of an error message? I don't think I can. But I would
let's say she already clicked on this, and now, now you're like, it went away.
I would try to locate that file specifically and see if it's being any kind of shared or in permissioning.
How would you do that?
I would go into File Manager.
File Manager.
Open up File Manager in the taskbar. Yes, and I would go to this PC. What was that? This PC. Mm-hmm. And I would click on, I could have just went to local disk. Geez. Okay, local disk C. Mm-hmm. Your default disk. And then it will be, would it be 86? Would it be program files? No, users. Go to users.
Hey, users.
And then the current user that I'm logged into, I would click on their folder.
Frank, okay.
And no, it was program files. It had to been program files. Let's go back.
Are there more files here than you can see?
Oh, click on wait, what was that?
Are there are there other things you could see here besides this?
Instead of these on Frank.
In this folder, is there more than meets the eye? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Is there more than meets the eye?
Maybe if they're like if there's hidden folders like with the dot in front of it, maybe. Can I click on view? Let's click on view tab.
View, okay.
I don't think it was view. No, let's click on, well.
Is there anything on there that shows anything that could be
like it shows
items that are not showing up?
Like, is there anything here you could do to actually show more things, or?
I'm trying to see, do I right click or would it be in file tab? Wait, I got a system in front of me. Let me just.
Anything on those boxes that maybe something?
Somewhere in there, somewhere maybe.
The box. What's that? In those boxes right there, those boxes you see. Anything on there that might give you a clue?
Anything on that section from left to right?
It says you talking about in the view area?
Yeah, right here right now.
Okay.
You're almost there.
You're almost there, yeah.
I would click on hidden items on the list of check boxes.
Okay.
Yep, good job. So what we do now what we do next, now that you see the folders there.
Okay, and I'm going to the file location that the error gave me. So I would double check the error message and make
how would you do that? That's a good point, because I wanted to ask you where are. Okay.
I would go back and try to run Outlook again.
Run Outlook again. Yep. Okay. It's saying that it says that, hey, couldn't start the last time. Would you like to open it in safe mode? So it's not even giving you that path anymore.
Click on
yes or no.
Click on no. Because if it starts in safe mode, I mean, what would
Don't you want to try it first?
It says no.
Okay, so what do you see now on your screen?
It says loading pro. Okay, here we go. So so I go to Frank. Okay, I gotta go to app data, then local, then Microsoft.
Okay, we're gonna app data, then local.
App data.
Local, yep.
And then you go to Microsoft.
Correct.
Then,
what else?
You're just following this Microsoft. Then you go to Outlook, right?
Outlook, correct.
Okay.
And then looking for continue. Don't have permission, huh?
Okay. Hold on.
Oh wait. Let's click the X box. Could I exit out that right there real quick?
Okay.
Let me right click on Outlook and click on properties.
Okay.
Okay, there we go, baby. All right, so we got security. Is it security? Let's click on security, click on sharing. Okay. Security. All right, so we got Frank. And you click on Frank. Just a single click. All right. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we're gonna click on
You are mean, Donish.
You're mean, Donish.
Hey, that's terrible, man. I'm trying to look like
that happens in the real world.
How do you fix it?
Okay, well, anyway. Yeah, no. Go ahead and click on Frank again.
Somebody's talking about internship. By the way, news, out of our first batch, 4 people landed a job out of that internship.
Yep. 4 people landed. So what will you do, Frederick? What's going on? What's going on over here?
Click on Frank, and we're gonna enable the permissions for him to access that file.
Enable?
How would I fix this right now?
Hey, what's going on over here?
It's on. He got denied, so we're gonna uncheck deny.
And then what else?
Uncheck. I guess uncheck all of that. Because I mean, geez. Unless we don't want him.
That's pretty good.
You missed one.
Yeah, we missed one.
Did I miss one? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Was it? Okay.
There you go.
Hold on, yeah.
That's a pretty good one.
All right.
So what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do now?
All right. So we're going to click on, we're going to close out Outlook and make sure I would do it the task manager way. I would do Control Alt Delete.
We're gonna close it.
That's really.
Okay, so
And now
Here we go
what?
again with the same message again. What will you do?
Let's see.
What is safe mode anyway? What is that? What's the point of that? What is it? What is that anyway?
Safe
are you
mode.
familiar
I
with
know
safe-
safe mode for the computer, but I don't know safe
Yeah,
mode for Outlook.
let's get to this right after when he finished this. Let's see.
Okay.
I'll ask him the command.
Okay.
Okay. Well, click on no again for me. All right.
That was, I wasn't thinking that you.
Nice
you're
job,
good.
man.
Okay, now the question is like you went through some pretty hard way of getting into that. Like, is there an easy way to get to that path? Do you know?
Okay. No, I don't.
Okay. Well, let me quickly show you because this is also for little learning. So you're gonna go to control panel, right?
Okay.
So because look, you went through, you have to unhide the files, you got to do all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do none of that
Correct.
stuff, right? So simply go to mail from here. And when you go to the mail, go to data file and just open a location.
Open location. Simple as that. You don't gotta kill yourself.
Okay.
Wow.
Now, you can go back to the location. But if you didn't have access, you would get a problem right here. Then of course you have to go through your route. But I just want to show you what if this is more than that? What if a profile is corrupted? All that kind of stuff. So you need to learn certain things to fix Outlook. So maybe you should focus on that. Okay, make sure you know this, how to fix Outlook stuff. So one question Kevtech asked you.
But he did a good job though for troubleshooting.
That was amazing. To me,
that
I
was
think
really
that was
amazing.
Just, this is not an easy one. Honestly, I would be
That was
struggling
hard.
myself.
I
If
didn't know
somebody
what was
do
going
that
on
to
for a
me,
second.
if somebody do that to me, I would be struggling.
I don't think I've ever seen that. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty wild.
Permissioning going.
So this person is having issue right now with Outlook. This person called you that, hey, when I open Outlook, it crashes all the time. When I open it, it crashes all the time. So what are some basic things that you can do to fix this issue? Or let me ask you.
Crashes.
Yeah. Or let me ask you this question. How do you open Outlook in safe mode?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But
okay, that's fine. If you
I don't know how to open it safe.
Since you already say you don't have ideas, so then you need to really focus on this. Maybe you search that.
Outlook. Yeah, I haven't even started studying on Outlook because I've been doing A+, and we don't really just touch on Outlook like that. But I'll get right on top of that.
I don't think that's fine. You
fine.
need to learn Outlook. Then that's fine. We don't need to ask more questions around this area.
Yeah.
Then I think I'm done with my technical stuff. But maybe
No,
if you have more.
I think we should probably wrap it up because I think we did like over an hour interview with him. And
But
he's probably drained from it.
Hey,
Hey, if I want to ask, I want to do something. Okay, go ahead.
Can I ask one question that's not technical? I just want to see. Remember that question that I was asked on my interview with the company I currently work for, the prioritize 3 things. Can I ask that question, or do you want me to?
I see Frederick sweating on the side over there. I don't know if he wants to ask any more questions. I'm just kidding. Yeah, go ahead.
Frederick, do you mind if I ask you one more question? There is no right answer to this question. Honestly, it's just to see how you think. And I was asked this in an interview.
that's fine. That's fine.
Don't hate me.
And she's number 2. She knows what she's doing.
Oh, she's a psychologist. I knew it. All right, let's do it. Let's go.
Psychologist. Okay. I want you to list these 3 things from most priority to least. Sorry, my English is not loading. But by priority, I'm going to give them to you, obviously not in priority. And I want you to tell me why. There's no correct answer for this. But internet connection, backing up of course, all of these are on a user's computer. So internet connection, backing up the user's device, and antivirus. Put them in order, like by priority, and tell me why, or tell us why.
So, all right. So first of all, internet connection would definitely be, okay, let me just start first. All right. Backups. Oh, Lord, we get beat down for the importance of backups. And antiviruses.
Don't worry. I struggled. I struggled on the interview
I would first install the antivirus. That way I can back up the antivirus files as well. So I would do antivirus first, back up the system, and then I would go into the internet settings, because internet settings is not necessarily depending on this situation. Do I want it online? Do I not want it online? So do I want it just local?
Good.
So yeah, I'll do that internet last.
That's all for me. That's a great answer. There's no right answer, honestly. It's just to see the
Okay.
no, there's not. So the way I
Oh, I was
answered
gonna-
it on my interview was I did antivirus, internet, because everyone's working remote, and then the last was backup. The director was like, I would have done backup first and then the other two. So everyone has
definitely
different
told him to
answers,
get
but it's like they want to
antivirus,
see how you think, you know?
Okay. But yeah,
Danish.
that's what I would probably do. I don't know.
What do you think, Danish?
Well, I wanted to ask you, first of all, I want to do two things over here because I was going to actually meet with him for 20 minutes to check his basics.
And we did more than that today.
Yeah.
No, I
So
mean,
I want
yeah.
to, first
Still
I
open
want to
to it.
ask you, first I want to ask Kevtech and Hafa, because you guys are part of that. Is he in for internship?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, from my side.
Okay, Frederick. So we don't need to meet again. You're welcome in batch 2 internship. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
your
you,
basics-
guys.
your
And I
basics
would
are well
definitely
above
be, I'll definitely be going over these notes here. when I ain't gonna be-
Frederick,
But-
from my
yeah.
side, if you ever want to do one-on-one with me and go over Outlook and go over these things you
I'm
never even
open.
talked about, let
I'm
me
open,
know.
man.
We'll do one-on-one for free, and I'll spend an hour or two with you, and we'll go
Thank
over the basics.
Thank you. Thank you.
Outside
Don't
of
miss this opportunity.
YouTube,
Appreciate
obviously, you know, we'll go over it. Okay.
Yeah. Don't miss this opportunity.
And I
because
got you.
yeah,
I got you, bro.
yeah, most of the people if you do that, and you will learn a lot of stuff with that kind of opportunity. I want to ask another question from Steven and Kevin, and the way we do in our interviews. Is he job ready for which
the second one, yes.
Or levels too? Maybe you guys can put something like, is he level 1 ready or
Level 1.
level 2 ready? What do you guys think?
I would say
Steven.
level 1 ready. Level 2 yet?
Oh, God.
He's not up to HIPAA standard yet. But level 1, I would say, yeah. I mean, definitely level 1. I mean, he's a very good troubleshooter. I think his troubleshooting skills are only going to get better, I think, because has a good way of thinking. Like I said, he has a really good voice. He's a really calming voice to the customer, I think, when he starts talking. And it's sort of really calm, excited people down. And that's very, very important in the job, so he can communicate. I would say one thing, just dumb it down a little bit when you're talking to him. I mean, don't say CM, don't say command prompt, do like really simple things to the customer. But other than that, I think level 1 and maybe level 2, definitely very soon, once he gets his feet wet a little bit more and starts getting involved a little bit. But I think he's going to do very well.
I feel like it's level 1 as well for me. I feel like you just need to do it. Like you need to get comfortable with the systems. You need to get comfortable with like Office 365. You need to get comfortable with Active Directory. All the good stuff. Like you did like you're, instead of giving me and everyone the answer I don't know, you at least try. So part of IT is at least trying to give some sort of answer, whether it's a fake interview or not. Whether it's this interview or not a real interview. So part of IT is showing the manager that you have some sort of passion for IT and you have some sort of analytical thinking. So instead of like saying I don't know, you're thinking outside the box and you're actually giving them some sort of answer, and you give them something, instead of giving them nothing. And then you actually have that like Steven said, you have that energy that comes out of you that you really want to work IT or you really want to do IT. So that's a really good thing to have. That's a quality of someone that if I was a manager, I would definitely hire you because of the quality you have as a person with attitude. Attitude is the number one thing in IT, is having attitude, having that good attitude with people. If you have that good attitude, especially when talking to users and people, or just people in general, that manager is going to want you because of that attitude you have. You have such a great attitude, and that's really good to have in IT. So that's my part of it. So I don't know if Kevin wants to add to that.
One last thing I'll add with that, when you get that call and when you get that ticket, I think even for me, Kevtech, Dice, we want to go right to the extreme, but you keep it simple first. Do the simple things first and then go into the hardcore stuff. Like go down deeper and deeper and deeper. So start very, very, it's like walking into a pool. You start at the very low end, and sooner or later it's going to get very high. You're going to get over your head with it. Kind of like this concept of doing like a ticket. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like
that way.
And like for the ticket or for the scenario that they did about the Internet Explorer thing that wasn't working. The first thing I would have done was checked, is Firefox opening the website? Is and then, oh, is Chrome doing it? Okay, so these two are not. Sometimes when you're in that situation, like when you're in a hot seat, or like phones, or like you would check different devices, right?
You always want
first you would
start
check
with
inside the computer itself. So is Chrome loading? Is Firefox loading? Oh, they're not. Okay, so it might be the computer. Let me check from a different, like from a phone or from my son's laptop or whatever, right? Check from there. Oh, it's loading from there. So it must be a problem with this computer. Then I would flush the DNS, and then I would start super, super simple and then work my way up to like, oh, let me check the network settings. Let me check this, let me check that.
Yeah.
That, and then also you have such a great drive for IT. Like you can sense like the passion and the drive, and I wanted to compliment you on that. And that is
Thank you.
what I have to
Thank
say.
you. It's here to stay, guys.
Yeah, I agree with everything everybody said. I agree with what Kevtech said, Haifa, Stephen, Danish. You know, I think you're ready for level 1. I think that with your troubleshooting skills, and I can tell that you're really passionate about this stuff, you really care about it, and you have great customer service skills, which is really the most important part of the job. It's technical skills are important, but if you really need to know how to interact with people, and that's the most important part, really.
You have a very, very
level
good
1
as well.
I always say that
Helps.
customer service. I love customer service.
And you know, I just think that once you get a job and you can experience these things, you can try different technologies. You get more hands on. I think you'll be fine, and you'll be able to grow as a great technician. I think you just need to get that first role and just continue studying, and you'll be fine, man.
Thank you.
Danish, you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, you guys already mentioned that first of all, you have a very positive energy, and the way you approach everything is that's something that's really good, because that means you can make a lot of good connections in your own department, right? This means you're going to have a very positive, connection with other people. Just my one tip for you is to just with Haifa, she's my student, and I'm not shy to say that. Calm down, like when you're giving answers. Or you're approaching, if you're approaching a technical issue, just make sure you kind of like relax a little bit. So then watch that error. Does that error give you a little bit more information on that screen? Like, for example, you had a path, you could have details in there. So make sure you don't move out of that error quickly. Or if a user call you, to make sure you spend some time without jumping into a try this or try this or try this, right? That's a very common thing, because I've been teaching for almost, I don't know how many years. And one of the main thing was for people that they quickly go to solutions. So the best thing you can do is to just relax, look at the screen, and see how much information can you get out of that screen. And then kind of like process it in your head first without going into practical steps. You will be learning a lot of stuff in internship as well. Practical stuff that we're going to give you and everything, and you will be tested with basics again and again, and that's something you're just going to master when you get out of the internship. You're going to have that basics. You'll be like bored out of basics, like, man, adding a machine to a domain again, what the hell is this, right? That's the part of this internship when your mind is so like, you're just like getting bored out of some things that how you are. Like if somebody asks me, oh, add a machine to a domain, I'm like, again, right? It's like that. So you'll learn a lot of stuff. So don't worry about that. Like I said, you're level 1 ready, and you have a great way of analyzing things, like moving on top of that, technical approach. You have a really good stuff. Just need to practice more, which Kevtech already mentioned.
And I just have one advice though for the interview. I know obviously it's a little bit different because we're here, just us, but don't discount your skills as much. I'm still learning, I don't really know too much about that. Don't be overly confident to where you portray yourself as an expert, but also give yourself a little bit of credit. You don't want to appear as if you're really iffy on the things that you say on your resume that you really know. You want to inspire confidence in them if they hire you.
That's advice that I give to everyone who's going into an interview. Always walk in like you're the best thing that's sitting in there. Not the best tech in the world, like everything, but at least the best candidate for that job. You read the job description, you applied for it because you thought you can do those things. So don't ever show hesitation. Like if you don't know anything, that's fine. You don't have to know you're not going to know. Like if they have a proprietary program, obviously you're not going to know how to work with it. But what you can say instead of, oh, I don't really know that, is I'm a very quick learner. This program is this. Well, I haven't worked with that program specifically, but I have studied a little bit about this program. And so I'm sure like it's a like you always give them a positive, like it's never like never give anyone a negative outlook on yourself, or not negative, but like less than confident.
Leaving them on a down note.
Yeah, no, don't leave anyone on a down note. You always want to be like confident of yourself and your skills. You're not going to be the best tech in the world. None of us are going to be the best techs in the world, because there's no such thing, right? But in your mind, you should be the best candidate for the job that you're sitting for.
Be confident in your skills.
You did a good job, man. You did a really, really good job today, especially under the pressure with us talking to you. And then there's like over 100 people watching on YouTube right now, by the way. So
hi, Kev.
Hey, Femi.
Please, can I say something quickly? I really have to say this.
There we go.
I know. It's not gonna be. I promise you. I keep quiet these days. Frederick, I want to say this. It's been a while I said this. I love you, bro. I think you inspire me, especially because I keep repeating every time I'm in this group how I started. If I could do half of what you did today when I started, I probably will call myself a genius. I think you're the best. I cannot say more. Yeah.
Just try it here. Thanks, man. I'm definitely going to keep learning.
All right, guys.
Do you have anything to say, Frederick?
I just want to say thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. Thank you for replying to all of my numerous messages and emails. Thank you for being patient with me, and I'm going to continue to be patient with you all. And I'm looking forward to hear from, Danish, all of you guys after this, anytime after this. And looking forward to move forward with the company, man.
Frederick, you did a really good job. I say I'm being honest with you, you did a really good job for someone that's brand new. You get out of your comfort zone. That's it. That's pretty much it. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Danish. Thank you, Haifa. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Steven. Femi, everyone else is here. Greatly appreciate it. Hopefully this helps anyone out that's new to IT that's watching on YouTube. We'll continue the party on Discord. So
join the Discord channels.
Want to join Discord? Stop by Discord, because I do things outside of YouTube.
I need to go back. I'm like, what the hell, man? That Outlook scenario didn't work out well. I need to fix that. Because
come on, man.
That sucks.
So,
all right, take care, everyone.
All right, guys. I'm gonna let you guys go. Hope you guys have a good day. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Thank you guys for joining this live session. Obviously, it'll be on YouTube, and if this helps you out, let me know. Let everyone else know. And we'll be on Discord. We're here to help. We help people all the time. So hope you guys have a great day. I'm closing this out. And hope you guys have a great Saturday. All right. Take care. Stay safe and peace. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.